Hey team, I just wanted to make a quick overview video of the Q1 FY22 OKR candidates submitted from the digital experience team. Try and keep this really short. I'm going to share my screen. So I have them nested here under our main Q1 FY22 OKR candidates. Epic, these ones up here, I've created them as their own individual epics. So this came about our entries came about as a team from our offsite held in the first week of January 2021. And we did an exercise where we just spent some time, a fair amount of time, I think it was about an hour, writing down the top 5 things with the 6th as a bonus. And what I went through, as you can see here, is I went through everybody's, grouped them into themes I saw, and we started with just these overarching objectives. So Sid's is just increase IACV for the company. Todd's from the strategy deck that he shared a few months ago, hit $130 million IACV in FY22 on a flat year-over-year marketing budget. So things that we are putting forward that we can do to drive Todd's number and then ultimately Sid's number is continuing to build out Slippers, the design system. We'll have a very MVC1 version done by the end of this quarter as a successful delivery of our Q4 OKR. There's a lot of things we need to do to make it operationalizable. It's a bit of a mouthful of a word. Primarily, thinking about implementation, thinking about localization, how it relates to the localization efforts we have going on, operationalization, governance, and documentation, and then accessibility. So we don't have any targets in mind yet, but you can see here we're sticking to this format. So we will deliver changes that drive our metrics, which will be inquiries on the marketing site faster measured by these below here. I won't go into those individually. Feel free to click into each one of these. For example, implementation, just a couple notes. So implementing it, so let's rolling it out. So on the navigation, if we don't complete that this month, the feature maturity chart on our homepage, other pages that we have in flight, basically saying that we're gonna build this out while we're supporting other OKRs that we commit to. So this one will sort of be a yes and OKR for us. So if it's localization that we commit to as a team, great. 20% of that time would be really well suited for us to do the localization, but also bring that into our design system and do a couple things to make sure that we're, by the end of Q2, able to roll this out company-wide, and anyone can go through the documentation, copy, paste, and build these sites, which is the ultimate goal for us. Speed us up, make our team of currently 9 into effectively 1,300 or however many people work for GitLab or want to contribute. Inquiry generation. So we really want to think about things that we can drive our key metric forward. So things that came up, diversifying lead sources, making sure that we have consistent lead gen mechanisms on every page, improving the UX of inquiry capture, focusing on specific segments and target audiences. So meeting people where they're at, giving them a little bit of personalized content with the limited ability we have to do so. I still think there is opportunity for us to make things a little bit more relevant. And then we've also put localization into here as well, because effectively, if we don't have an experience for Japan and we then have an experience for Japan, we've just diversified our inquiry generation by 100%. It's kind of easy math. And again, each one of these you can go into and there's just a little bit more information. Continuing to invest in the CMS and blog. So we'd like to roll out the CMS to more parts of the site. So we have it on the topics pages. We have a stretch goal and a big belief that we will have it rolled out for the blog by the end of this quarter. That could slip, and if it does, we want that to be something that is brought into Q1. Measurement metrics that we're looking at are inquiries generated from blog content, increase in page views, bounce rate, time on page, some pretty standard metrics you expect to go up by putting some time and effort into enhancing your content delivery mechanisms. So just clicking into this redesign of the blog homepage, because this is something I think we have a ton of opportunity. It's that first impression of people coming to engage with all this amazing content the content team is making, and it just doesn't really do the best job of positioning us as the awesome company that we are. Measurement. This is something we'd like to put a lot of effort behind. Making sure that we're measuring the right things. So we know ICV is important. We know that inquiries is our metric, but there's a lot of tangential things that are going on the site that we'd start to like to get an understanding on of, like, what are the things that lead to inquiries, that lead to conversion. We don't want to just start measuring everything, because that inevitably slows down the site and then makes a whole bunch of data that's useless. So really being able to explicitly communicate, hey, we changed this and we saw this number go up. We know when that number goes up, this other number, maybe it's inquiries goes up by this many percent. So we can start having a data informed approach to all the work we're doing, and being able to report back maybe twice a month on how, like, quantitatively, how the work we're doing is having a positive impact to GitLab as a company. Finally, tech debt and improvement. So this is the one that no one likes to talk about. We aren't going to beat the drum too hard on this one. There's things that are just necessary. Having a stable tech stack is really going to enable everybody in marketing or the company site-wide. And we also would like to have a agreement that while we're doing the work against everyone else's OKRs as our own, while we have a page open, we'd like to dedicate a small amount of time to just making sure we can make that page as good as possible. So everything is incremental tech debt. Tech improvement things like a digital asset manager and CDN integration. So these are things that are going to massively help our performance. So having a single source of truth for marketing assets on the DAM, and then delivering our images via CDN is going to have a twofold benefit. One, our page load speed is going to go up immensely, which is obviously a good thing. And by using a CDN and moving all of our images outside of Git, it's going to drastically reduce the size of our Git repo, which has the benefit of making it way faster for us to develop and do builds. So it's going to make us a lot more efficient. So that's everything that we're putting forward as candidates for Q1 FY22. A lot of this is work that we will be able to do in sync with other OKRs that need our team's expertise. So I'm really excited to find a way for us to all thread the needle and just keep delivering against this. And I look forward to seeing where this goes.